Welcome to PubSite, the easy-to-use website builder designed specifically for books and authors. This video will cover design and page layout. The first thing you do to log into PubSite is to go to pubsitepro.com and sign up for your 14-day free trial. Once you fill this in and sign up, you will then log into what's called your admin area. The first page you come to is called your dashboard. There's a video down here that is for getting started with PubSite. I strongly urge you to watch it. It gives you a good overview of PubSite, its features, and how to use them. It will cover such things as design, authors, books or titles, products, pages and navigation, and e-commerce should you choose to use it. So I'll assume that you watched that and you have an idea of how to get in here and get started. You name your website here, and that's what will appear at the top of your website in the header. The next thing to do is to choose a design. We have a number of designs already done, and each one has multiple color schemes. These were professionally designed, and the color schemes were chosen by professional graphic artists, so they will look nice on their own. There are many of them there that you can choose from. What we'll do here is we'll choose the default design, and now I will show you how to customize it in case you don't want to use one of the default color schemes. Once you've chosen this one, click on Customize, and you will go to our Customize section. Now there are a number of things you can do here. First of all, there's colors. As you can see, this site is primarily blue. And you can see that our magic slider is in the blue area. Let me just jump in here to get the name back on there. Now, say you wanted to have a completely different color scheme. Say you are a romance author and you wanted more of a fuchsia red pink color, something like that. So you can just take the magic slider and move it over into that area. And as you'll see, it didn't change just one color, it changed all the colors, the buttons, the background colors, all the colors throughout the site. And they are still coordinated in the same color family. So if you want to do it that way, you can. Now what you can also do is change individual colors. And when you roll over them with your mouse, you'll see that this one is for the menu background and button color. Menu background, button color. This one is for menu sub-navigation or button hover. Sounds complicated, but that is your drop-down menu color. And when you mouse or roll over your buttons, what color they become. This is your secondary background or sidebar color. This is your secondary background color here. And when you go to one of your interior pages with the sidebar, that will be your sidebar color. Okay, so say you wanted to make this a little bit lighter. You think it's a little too dark, but you'd like to leave the rest of the colors as is. You can select this color and let's just lighten it by pulling it up here. There you go. Now it's lightened quite a bit. You can also put in very precise colors here with RGB or the HTML hex color, so you can set colors precisely to match your logo or book cover or whatever. Let's cancel that. Then you have other colors here, page background, and that's white. The header background, the body text color, this is your body text. and the header text color here. You can change all of those individually. Now you may have noticed here that the header really didn't change to match this. And that's because it started off as a very light gray, so it really doesn't change much from gray. So say you wanted to change that, you choose the header background, click in an area that's in your color scheme, and then you can just drag this over, and there you go. You've now made this background color match your scheme also. So as you can see, you can change all the colors throughout the design. Okay, I'm going to instead of undoing everything, I'm just going to cancel out. You can do this all the time. Go in, play around, and if you just want to get back to where you were, just click cancel. Okay, now we'll click on customize again and go back in, and as you see, it's gone back to the blue. So now another thing about the header here is that we have in the header there are actually 3 layers. There's the background color, which I just showed you how to change. There's a background image, which is this textured background image here. And then there's the text. So you actually have 3 layers right now in the header. Let's look at images now, and that's where it comes into play. Your header background is the background, textured background, and this is what's called partially transparent, meaning that the color behind it will show through. So right now it's gray, but as you saw before, I made it sort of a pink color and it showed through, but you still keep the texture. What you can also do here is, if you want something a little more graphical, is you can upload some sort of header that you designed or found or whatever. If you want to do the background header, you can put in something that would replace this textured background and your name would still lay over it. Or you can just change the whole thing, which would replace everything up here by changing the site header / logo. So we'll do that. We already have one that we're going to show you, but I just quickly want to show you something here. And I'm not particularly advocating one website over another, but there's a site called Canva, C-A-N-V-A, where you can go in and create graphics. And it's very flexible. You can create graphics from headers that they already have. You can choose from a variety of elements that you can put in it, lines, grids, free photos, and so forth. You can put in all sorts of text and change it. You can choose background colors and images, most of which are free. When you get down here, some of them cost $1, but you can choose a background like this and then lay your name over it. That's one thing you can do. You can upload your own photos. For example, I uploaded this book cover, and then you can place it into your header. Or you can just design a full header. Now, this is what I did here. I just chose one of the backgrounds. I laid some text over it and laid the book cover in there. This is obviously very simple, not much of a design, but it just shows you the concept of what you can do. I chose this background, I put in the text, I uploaded my cover and put it there to create this graphic. Or what you can do for PubSite is use the Twitter template, which you'll see here is 1500 pixels by 500 pixels. The ideal width for uploading a PubSite header is about 1450 to 1500 pixels. And then you can make it any height you want, and it'll resize automatically. So let's get back to our design. Okay, and we're in Customize. Okay, so now what we did in Canva was within literally 10 minutes, we found a background image, laid some text on it, and developed this nice looking header. So we're going to upload it and put it in here. So you go into the site header logo and you click on Use an Image. And obviously the text disappears. And you go find the image. And I've already uploaded it, but if you needed to upload it, you just drag it on here. And it's uploaded, so I now have 5 of the same ones. Okay, so then you just double click on it, and boom, there you have your header. Nice, attractive header, took no time at all. But now you still have this blue, so let's go back into colors and go back to our more fuchsia sort of color, and there you go. Let's save this. And whenever you save, it's maybe a good idea to just start a new template. So let's just do 2. So now you have this custom template or theme, and then you actually have to select it. So make sure you click on Select. So this is now the one you're using. Let's go to the website and see what it looks like. So this was the default. And there, that's what it looks like now. Okay, so that's how you can easily design your page. Let's go back into Customize. All right, so now let me just, one more thing I want to show you, and that's fonts. So let's go back to using text. Okay, and now let me just show you one more thing. You'll see these margin boxes down here. You can actually control the size of this and the distance between the text and the top and bottom. So let's say we just want this bigger. It's a little too short for us. We're going to put a margin on the bottom to push this down. So let's make it 50. There we go. We've just made it taller. Even taller, you want to go to, say, 80. Okay, so it's nice and big now, but now this isn't centered. So let's put some margin in on the top. Let's do about 50 on the top, and there you go. Now it looks a little bare, but you can just see what is possible there, that you can position that. And there is an ability to put a second tagline in here, which you'll see in another video, and that will allow you to put in, Jean Ann Rose, best-selling author, and then you can position it up and down as you want. So let's just take those out. Okay, so we're back to the default. Now let's move on to font. Oh, just quickly, we showed you the header background. There's also a footer background, so if you want to change that, you can also. Now let's move on to fonts. As you can see, we have 18 fonts here, which should cover you. They are mostly Google web fonts, so they will look good on all sorts of devices. And you can change many different fonts in the site. This is the global font, which is the your main text, your body font or global font. If you wanted to change that, you can. You just saw it change there. Okay, click it back and it's back to Open Sans. The headings for your HTML people out here, that's the H1, H2, H3, and so on tags. For your non-HTML people, it's these right here, your headings. These are usually at the top of your pages or the top of your sections. So you can change these also. You're in headings. You can change those also. Then you have your main navigation, which is this right here. So if you want to change those to a Georgia font, you can do that. And then you have your site header logo text, which is this up here, and you can change that. So you can change pretty much every font in the site, and you can change them all independently by using the fonts. Let's cancel out of this. Okay, so there you go. Now you have the site that we did, and this is how it looks. I removed the header, went back to text, and it's throughout the site, as you can see. So it all changes site-wide. Now, one other thing I want to show you, and it's under here, design and page settings, is you can change the layout of your pages. The global is that you can actually hide the sidebar. So you saw this sidebar here. If you wanted to have a layout that does not have a sidebar, you can do that. Just check here, go back, and I guess I didn't hit save settings. Good point here. Always click save settings. There are a few things that when you check them or select them, it happens automatically. But in most places, you have to hit save settings. Now when we go here, click update. There you go. Now you have no sidebar, which doesn't look very good on the contact page, but you might like it on other pages. Okay, so let's go back. So we'll put the sidebar back in. Okay, so now other ones are the home page. Right now we have a layout that is the author featured at top and then 2 featured books here. And for entering author information, title information, choosing which books are featured and how they are positioned, that's in a different section here, and there are videos for that also. That's covered in either authors, titles, products, which is where you put in your books, or pages and navigation. We're not going to get into that here. There are videos covering those topics on our site. Okay, so now, as I showed you, that's the layout here. Okay, say you wanted your book featured at the top. You didn't want to feature yourself. So you can choose this setting here. This does happen automatically, and it tells you so right there. Now when you go back and refresh, now your book is featured at the top, and the author is here, and then down here you have an empty space where you can put pretty much anything you want. You just click on it, go in, and you have full formatting features to do whatever you want. You can put in images or whatever. That's just a blank area. If you don't want that there, you just want it to end there, you just delete this out and all this, and then click here, delete this out, and then this will just be blank space down here. Okay, that's one option. Then we have a side-by-side. And you'll see here that you can put anything you want up here. Again, click on it and do whatever you want. And then your books are side by side. And by the way, all these little tags here, you just click down here to hide live edit and they disappear. Or what I sometimes do is I'll open up a different browser and just have it viewable. So I can just keep going back and forth between the browsers without having all those tags there. Okay, so that's another layout. And then here's what I like. It's bio above blog. Select that, and then on your home page you have your author feature up top, and then your latest blog entries. And again, as you know, you can recolor this background. This would be your secondary background. You can make that lighter if you don't like it being dark. So this is a good one if you're really into blogging and that's what you want to feature, or if you don't have any books yet, you're just getting started and writing your first book, you might want your blog here instead. This is a good way of doing that. Okay, and then for those extreme designers, you can actually choose a custom page that's completely blank, and you can go in there and do whatever you want. Okay, then on what's called the catalog and detail page, okay, here you have your books listed. Okay, these are just sample books we made up and put in there. If you wanted that differently, you have the option of doing a grid, which if you have a lot of books, it might be something you want to consider. So now we switch to grid, we go back, and these show in a grid. We're going to remove the titles here and make these so they line up more evenly and look a little bit neater. We're working on that right now. Okay, so that's two things you can do. And then on the actual book page, okay, again, we're not going to cover how all this happened. That's in the video on books. But here you have the book with the video and the buy buttons. You can, if say you wanted to switch and have the cover over on the right hand side, you can do that. Click image right. Again, it happens automatically on this feature. Go back. And that's often a better balance. If you're going to have this sidebar over here with covers and photos and images, might be nice to put this over here to balance it off a little bit. And it was that simple. Okay, so there you have it on design. That pretty much covers it. There's a lot more detail and things you can do, but this is a good introduction to how to customize your design. I hope you found this useful. Please watch